Hi, I'm Tara Hitchcock. You're watching a special on-location edition of Harkins Theaters Behind the Screens. We are, as you can tell, on the beautiful island of Oahu, because when you're talking to the cast of Moana 2, why not just come to Hawaii to do the interviews? She was 14 when she was cast as Moana. Now Auli'i Cravalho is 24 years old. It was her birthday during the press junket. Of course, I had to bring her something from Harkins Theaters. I think she liked it. Take a look. Harkins Theaters, 90 years of ultimate moviegoing.
Wow.
So here's the deal. You have given me this gift of a film. Your birthday is like now, like tomorrow. For you, a Harkins loyalty cups, and Moana is celebrated right there. $3 refills just for you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You get a loyalty
I
cup.
will make a trip out there to use this cup specifically.
I hope so. 4 states.
There is an ancient island hidden in a storm. Stepping foot on its sands will break the curse.
Has playing Moana made you more fearless? I know you're on Broadway now, and I can't imagine anything more nerve-wracking than that. So has playing her actually made you more fearless?
And I will be doing the interview with this in my hand
Okay,
the whole time. I really do think that she has. Having Moana as my foundation was really important, I realized. Being in the recording booth where I didn't have to worry about memorizing lines means I don't have to worry about what to do with my hands like in a TV or a film. I just get to be creative and take chances and take risks and be big and sing and laugh and make grunting noises as though I'm climbing up a rock wall. It also expanded my imagination. And I agree that stage work feels like the final boss. It is so difficult in that it takes everything that I've learned from voiceover, from TV and film, and puts it on a stage where if I miss a line, the show must go on.
There's so many great songs in this, and a lot of people are talking about the music and some of the risks taken with some of the music.
Finally, we're back to who we're meant to be.
One of the songs talks about going back to the place that we're meant to be. Where do you feel most you?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here. We are on Oahu. I was born and raised on the Big Island, only about an hour's plane ride away, but I have so many family members that are coming to support me here. I spent last night after work just talking about everything and nothing and joking and eating malasadas, and it felt so good to be home, and it feels like a real celebration to be here for this.
How many of them call you Moana versus your actual name?
You know what? I was called Moana in high school up and down those halls. As soon as I was cast, even teachers were calling me Moana. But when I go home, I'm just Auli'i.
Maui?
Can I get a chee-hoo?
Has The Rock changed at all, in your opinion?
Ooh, how has he changed? I think he's gotten bigger somehow. He looks a little younger. I don't know what that guy does. He's one of the hardest working people in Hollywood, though, so I'm glad to be working with him.
I am unclear as to what you are doing.
Get lost and lose your way.
I love the concept of getting lost and the song Get Lost, which to me is, out of all the music, kind of the most of a departure, in my opinion. It's very different and it's beautiful. But the idea of getting lost, which is sometimes good and helps you find your way.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example recently of maybe where you felt lost, but you were able to go, wait a minute, I just did a film where they talked about getting lost is okay.
Ooh, that's a great question. I'll be honest. My phone died when I was making my way back. I was in New York City. I was at an appointment and I don't know my north, south, east, west.
You were literally lost.
I was quite literally lost and I had to ask for directions on the street and then follow the streets. Thankfully, it's a grid, but I walked probably 2 miles because I relied on tap to pay. Didn't have my wallet. Couldn't ride a subway. Smartphone, dumb person.
You said you'd bring me a present.
I don't want to give anything away, but this film kind of sets up an interesting future for Moana. Agree or disagree, and what can you offer as it relates to what might be next?
We'll speak in code. I I always feel like there is more story to tell with this character. I'm biased.
Yeah.
I love her. I adore her. We're like this, she and I. But I think that there are so many wonderful stories that we could tell. And I love that wayfinding is in there. You know, this is a piece of indigenous Pacific knowledge that to see on a big screen is really special. I think that there are millions of different storylines. So who knows how far she'll go.
Want to get through it? You just gotta chee-hoo it.
I'm not making this up when I say that my wedding song was A Whole New World, which is from a Disney film. What are the odds? Can I get a Chee-hoo is going to be the new wedding theme and song of 2025.
Molly?
Can I get a chee-hoo?
I would love to see that happen. Imagine the first dance.
Oh my gosh. Getting to write Maui a song was crazy. You got a plan for breaking the curse, and even though odds couldn't be worse,
I'm making the bet on the bravest and greatest of wayfinders I've ever met.
But coming up with that song and presenting it to The Rock for the first time, because it's not like he's Lin-Manuel Miranda when it comes to the fast rapping.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
It's a lot of work.
It
He
is.
put in the work. I will
did.
say the Rock's work ethic that we all know very well came into play. We saw it happen.
Yeah. And he loved it. He FaceTimed us when we were, like, not ready for it. Like, I was in a robe getting ready for a show, and Emily was in the car, and we just got it.
I'll give you the full story.
Okay.
So we spent all day like getting the song ready because they were going to play it for Mr. The Rock, as you say, at the end of one of his dialogue sessions, and we just hear nothing. We're like, oh
All
my
day.
god, he hates
hates
it. He hates it. We're gonna get fired. Everyone's gonna hate us. It's fine. And then we're driving home, and we get a FaceTime call from our boss Jared, and it's Mr. The
Dwayne.
Rock, and Abigail's in her towel, in her turban.
Yeah.
And she said, "Hello, Mr. The Rock," and he loved it, and he
Yeah.
loved it, and
He said it gave him chills.
Yeah.
Aww. So that was like all we could ask for as songwriters for him to love it.
What lies beyond, under skies I've never seen.
When you see your music and you get to watch it on the big screen set to the action and set to the story, what's the song that got to each of you the most? Maybe an unexpected reaction, having written it, you know, knowing where it's going to fall in the movie, but once you see it, it's got to be a different feeling.
yeah. I mean, my favorite song in the movie is Beyond.
I go beyond.
But randomly, what could be better than this? The song on the boat
Yes.
changed the most for me when I saw the animation.
What could be better than this?
Because the whole song is like kind of tongue-in-cheek and sarcastic. I love the song, but I didn't really realize the vision until I saw it with the animation. I was like, oh my god, it works.
Yeah.
It works.
You really did like change how I felt about every single song to see it all come together. Chee-hoo.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
Those visuals?
The montage. Ugh.
I know what I have to do.
In the film, she undergoes a ceremony where she gets a title from the
Yeah.
people around her. If you could give each other a title, what would it be?
Rhyming chief.
I like that.
Oh, Maestra.
I'll take it.
Both brilliant. First of all, thank you for bringing us to Hawaii. This is not too shabby.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
it is not.
Dana, I want to start with you. I have heard you say when you see yourself on screen, it changes how you see yourself. And I'm curious, how did this change how you saw yourself or see yourself?
Oh, wow. You know, Moana's the first Pacific Islander heroine I've ever seen on screen before, and I think it's been really empowering to see her impact on the world. And so now to be a part of telling her continued story, it's really given me a lot of confidence in myself in a lot of ways. I think I've mirrored her in some regards because we just keep growing as people, and I've learned a lot about myself in making Moana too, and that's what her journey in this movie is all about.
David, you talked yesterday. By the way, you all introduced the film yesterday, which was really a treat. You talked about how accurate things are and how detailed things are as it relates to Polynesian culture. For someone who's not as familiar with it, except through something like Moana, what is the biggest kind of nugget that's very specific that maybe we won't even catch, but you catch?
Oh, there are so many throughout the entire film, and I love that we are celebrating all of those cultures in a powerful way. For me, if you look at the canoe, there is not a single nail on that canoe. It is literally lashed and tied with miles and miles of rope. And our production designer was very specific about like finding those nuances and those details that actually existed in the canoes of the people of the Pacific.
All right, Jason, I have to ask you about the music. A lot of people are talking about the music because it is, I don't want to say risky, but it is a little bit of a departure in some of the songs that at first you're like, oh, wait a minute, that works here. But She Who, when you first showed The Rock, those lyrics, how the song was going to go, what was that day like to witness him attempt this?
As I'm pretty sure he showed us his arm and he had chicken skin, so he had goosebumps. I think he was so excited to sing a new song. Obviously, he loves to sing "You're Welcome," but I think having a new song for him to sing is fantastic, and it really sort of embodies everything his larger than life nature and his sort of pump up nature as well too, which is so fun. And it's great because it's a flip of "You're Welcome," and it's really about building Moana up, and I think he really connected with that, and it's definitely my favorite song, so I'm glad.
This is serious.
Is something distracting you?